Today on the 01581, conversation with our town manager, Christy Williams, and the Westborough Women's Club and the Holiday House Tour. I hope you enjoy the show. Hi, and welcome back. I'm joined this morning by our town manager, Christy Williams, for her regular update. Christy, welcome.
Good morning.
Yeah, so what's going on? What do you have for our viewers?
I just wanted to update on some of the budget process. So in November every year, we do the tax classification hearing with the board. And so that for fiscal 24 will be scheduled on November 28th. So the select board meeting on November 28th.
And what is the tax classification?
Yeah, so that's when the board votes on three different things. They vote on whether or not to split the tax rate. Mm-hmm. As you know, we've maintained a single tax rate for our history. Mm-hmm. But the board does decide that every year and considers that every year.
Sure.
And then choosing whether or not to adopt a residential exemption and a small commercial exemption. So those are the three choices before the board. Our chief assessor, John Steinberg, does a great job giving the board all sorts of information to prepare for those decisions.
Sure. And so the classification hearing is on the 28th, and then the vote is the next meeting?
No, it's at the same meeting.
It's at the same meeting,
yeah.
okay. Good.
Yeah.
I didn't recall. Okay.
I
I know that John has done several, sometimes he's had lead up presentations.
Yes.
But yeah, okay,
Yeah.
great. Okay, so November 28th, so folks will want to tune into that. Okay.
And if folks have questions about it, because last year he did do sort of a whole series, all of those presentations are available on the assessor's website or webpage of the town website.
Okay,
so,
great. Okay, so November 28th, that's an important one. And then that sort of ties into the budget process, right?
Yeah, so we're already thinking about fiscal 25. And so that budget process has started internally with departments having their budgets due on November 6th. Mm-hmm. And then we go through a process where we meet with department heads and go through their requests. Mm-hmm. They use a program improvement form now, which identifies things that are new and different. Mm-hmm. So we can really evaluate, what we think we want to see in the next year, and kind of balance out, the cost of that with everything else that we currently provide.
Sure.
So we'll be doing that with our new finance director, Jason Little, who's also starting on November 6th.
Sure. And a great time to thank Leah Talbot for 31 years of service. Her last day was this past Friday, and I want to thank her for outstanding work. I know she's was an incredible partner to you as you were coming on as in your role as town manager, and obviously Leah has worked across the town with department heads and our superintendent and so on and so forth. So good for her retirement and enjoying what she likes to do other than maybe counting things. Right. So Jason has started. He'll be part of that process. He comes to us from Northborough. Perhaps we can have him on at some point.
Yeah, definitely.
That'd
Definitely
be great.
Introduce him.
And then the budgets are due to you when? Basically.
So we'll finalize we'll have our meetings by mid-November. Mm-hmm. So Jason and I will meet with all the department heads, and then through sort of from Thanksgiving for the next few weeks of December is when we're really working through the budget, creating that budget document. And
award-winning budget document.
Award-winning, yes, absolutely. And then that's due to be distributed to the Finance Committee and Select Board on December 21st. Also has to be on the town website by then, so folks can go ahead and read that right then. Great. And then we'll do our first hearing on the budget.
I don't think I've ever sneezed on TV. Sorry about that, everyone.
We'll do our first presentation in the first meeting in January, usually.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
And is the budget also a time when, departments are providing a certain level of service that they can look to enhance, modify, change that service in some way, not only through maybe assets that they need or staffing, that's all part of that process.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, great. Excellent. All right, anything else?
Just a quick update related to the shelter at the Sharp building, that we had been targeting an October opening. But recently, in the last week or so, we found out that that's actually a December targeted opening. So. We'll continue to keep everyone updated as the state works towards that. That's a process that the town doesn't have any control over, but partnering with the state just to get the information.
And recently, Governor Healy was in the news about sort of not putting a hold on the shelter law, and now there's a civil action suit that's been lodged. Any initial kind of implications to the town based on her statement, or anything to add there?
Not that we expect. We've been told all along that this shelter would open, and certainly we were expecting about 20 families to move into that shelter. Based on sort of the plan that's been laid out, there would be opportunity to backfill those hotel rooms, which is what we've expected all along.
Right, exactly.
But that would work into sort of the state's total occupancy.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll continue to watch that situation, and thanks to our legislators for working with the town, and vice versa. So great. Excellent. Good. Thanks so much. Well, you've got budgets to go talk about, so we'll let you go. All right.
Thank you.
We'll be right back for a conversation with the Westborough Women's Club. Thank you. Hi, and welcome back to the 01581 Let's Talk. I'm joined by some amazing women here in Westborough, and they're going to talk to us about the Westborough Women's Club. So we're going to go through introductions first, then we got each of them will have a kind of a component of that they want to talk about the Westborough Women's Club, and so let's go with this. So welcome, and introductions please first.
Okay, my name is Renee Hatherley, and I am the president of the Westborough Women's Club. I've been the president for 5.5 years. And
some things we can't shake. When you do it so well, that's the thing.
It's just been a wonderful experience, and I look forward to continuing, not necessarily as president, but certainly as a contributing member to the Westborough Women's Club. I guess the first thing I'd like to start with is, who are we? I've been asked that question. What do you do? Who are you? Well, the Westborough Women's Club, as the name indicates, is women, and we are a diverse group of women representing many different areas. We're retirees, we're working individuals, we're mothers, we're daughters, we're sisters. Every kind of woman you could possibly imagine is in our women's club, and at this point we have over 105 members in our town. We have a mission that we try to address very carefully, and that mission is that the mission of the club shall be to strengthen the educational and social life of its members and to advance and improve the community by supporting charitable organizations and local civic activities. Great. So we've got some.
And I know we're going to talk about some of those in just a moment, about the areas of focus and support.
Yes,
Great.
yeah, we're a very busy club.
Yes,
I know that people ask, well, when did this all begin? We were founded in 1916. We weren't there, but we were an affiliate of the General Federation of Women's Clubs. And at that time, over 100 women met to build the organization, which is kind of amazing when you think about it.
Well, you think about even the size of Westborough then,
yes,
too, right?
Even back then. And the early committees of that club focused on a great many areas: civics, government, home economics, music, drama, the arts, and literature. And during World War II, there was even a committee for war relief.
Wow.
So they've been busy for a long time.
Yeah.
In 1930, the Westborough Women's Club formed the Westborough Players Club, and I think that's something not everyone knows about. And their first play, which I am not familiar with, was called Prunella. Prunella. So look it up if you want to know a little bit more about that.
Prunella.
In 1963, the 100th Town Chorus was formed as a spin-off of the club's musical endeavors, which is really kind of interesting. And they are celebrating their 75th anniversary in 2024, and they are going to come and do a celebratory concert for our women at one of our meetings in either April or May. So we're very much looking forward to that. The club members ran a community thrift shop from 1933 to 1941. Wow. And what is really, really interesting, many of our members are retired educators. Some are actively still working as educators. And the WWC established and ran a kindergarten from 1945 to 1976. And it was at that time that the town of Westborough took it over.
Okay. Was there a connection as well to the YWCA here in the Women's Club?
I have not heard of that.
Okay, all right. For some reason, I thought that there was some connection, or that building was used for that, or what have you. That's okay.
Yeah, I'm just not aware of that.
Yeah, no, that's okay.
But today, that was our history, and today, as I mentioned before, our membership has grown to more than 105 women, and we are very, very pleased. And we are always looking for new activities, for new causes for our club to be involved with. And I know that our ladies here are going to tell you a lot more about that.
Absolutely. And so you have, there are monthly meetings. You want to talk a little bit about the meetings, or are we going to transition? We're going to transition.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm Polly Thayer, and I am a vice president at the Westborough Women's Club. We meet the second Tuesday of every month, and we alternate between lunch and dinner meetings. So that we can enjoy and learn from the diverse speakers that we have. We have speakers from, like, the CEO of the Massachusetts Red Cross. We have speakers from a local author who will talk to us about the history of some very strong Westborough women. We also have had a beekeeper speak to us, an employee of E.L. Harvey, and of course the head of Westborough TV has been one of our guest speakers. So it's very interesting. To me, it's really an easy way to learn something new every single month, because you just never know. I mean, we have the speakers lined up, but it's always someone different. And then on the other hand, we also support local groups, whether they be local charities or other local groups, both through monetary and in-kind donations. So we support the Westborough Food Pantry, the Little Free Pantry. We also support a girls' softball team, which I think is very key to get strong women going early. We've gone over it to the Community Harvest Project and harvested tomatoes and peppers and squash, all different things. We go over there once a year to do that. And the Charlotte's Spinney Vision Scholarship, among other charities in town. So you can get information about this on our website, follow us on Facebook, and you can see when our meetings are and who the guest speakers will be. So reach out. It's a great way to meet new friends, greet old friends. Not old, but I mean friends that you might not have seen since you were sitting on the bleachers of games ages ago. And there's a lot of folks who are new to town who want to get to know Westborough. So we welcome all of you. Reach us out to us through our website, and we'll get back to you.
Yeah, and I'm a member of the club. It's a great mix of women. I think that having come from a place where the women's club was candidly a little bit stodgy, and it was a little intimidating to walk in.
So you don't have to wear white gloves.
No, right? So, but I wasn't sure, right? So, like, because we all come with sort of preconceived notions or experiences, and it is a welcoming group, and it's a broad membership in terms of age. And as you touched on, Renee, the experience both here in Westborough and really in the country and worldwide. And in addition to some of the speakers you spoke to, so you guys are active in, many of you are active in other organizations in town. And the other one I wanted to mention was that you guys, at every meeting, usually ask for or collect some donations of some sort. It could be monetary or otherwise.
We support a particular charity every month.
Right, which
so
is
like last month we were looking for diapers and baby wipes.
Right.
And we gathered about 200 pounds of diapers and wipes and donated them to the food pantry.
That's great. Yeah. So I think that creates like a really nice variety for members. So, for folks that are like, well, I have different areas of interest. I know the leadership is always interested in what are those areas that we maybe could focus on and help. And so for folks that are interested, they can follow up with all of you. And now we transition to one of the biggest events of the year.
Is the Holiday House Tours. I'm Sally Peterson. I serve on the executive board at Westborough Women's Club, co-chairing field trips that we may like to go on during the year, as well as this Holiday House Tour, co-chairing it with Polly. So, according to our history, and I'm sure there's some archives in someone's basements that may go back further than this, but we have 1996 as the first documented house tour. So what is this Holiday House Tour? Holiday House Tour, as we said, is our largest fundraiser. The second Saturday of December, so mark your calendars this year, December 9th, 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock. And we approach homeowners in town willing to showcase their home and open it up to a tour. We look for a variety each year. We want a historic, we want a downtown, maybe a newer home, maybe a condo, is our goal. Sometimes we get recommendations from folks. Sometimes we knock on people's doors unsuspecting. However, people in this town are so warm and so
That's awesome.
trusting and so welcoming. They don't know if Polly and I are selling full of brushes.
Right.
And we said, so could you open your home?
So we've got this thing, and we'd like you to participate and open your home up to it, right?
Yeah, and it's like so much fun.
Yeah.
People come year after year after year. You would, to get a ticket, you could purchase one over at the town hall starting November 14th, or contact any of us at Women's Club. And also on the day of. So at the day of, starting at 12:30, many folks meet at the Congregational Church where they can purchase their ticket, but they meet up with friends and they have coffee and they have goodies and they chat, and then finally they go on, map out their route where they're going first, and then off they go. Some people do it the reverse. They plan it first where they're going to go, and then they meet up afterwards for coffee and treats. And so that's how it runs. And as I say, one year there was a group of about 40-year-old moms celebrating a significant birthday. They arrived in a limo.
That's
The
awesome.
birthday girl wearing a boa.
Yeah.
They had been out to lunch. They were doing the Holiday House Tour. And then they were on their way to the Blue Man Group in Boston.
That's great.
That's pretty extravagant.
Yeah.
But more
So
typically,
limos not required.
Yeah.
But
yeah, limos are not required. And so it's amazing the support we get. We expect your ticket brochure will give a brief summary of that particular house, maybe the historic nature, maybe what brought them to that house, maybe what brought them to Westborough, and they incorporate that into a paragraph or two that we then print out, and that is your ticket. And then you can go on any of the 5 in any
Okay.
direction.
Any order you want, what
Any
have
order
you.
you might like.
Okay.
But I think you'll find a variety of homes.
So I was going to try to twist it out of you, but this is like becomes a little bit secret, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Not a little bit secret, a lot secret.
We
so,
do.
So I can't even like give you any money right now to tell our viewers or
Well, you
preview.
probably could to Sally, but not to me.
No.
Shelby, they won't tell me. They
Oh, no kidding.
They keep
Nuh-uh.
it very private.
Oh, that's
very
that-
private.
And that's kind of the fun of it, because you'll start to see
Yeah.
chatter like, does anyone know what houses are on it?
Or
Whatever.
is this house on it? I want to go see that house.
Yeah,
Or,
yeah.
you know,
or I've seen
what's
them doing
on
some
it.
things, or what? Yeah, exactly.
And that's sometimes how we get our recommendations. You know,
Yeah.
somebody will come to us and say, I've been dying to see that house.
Right.
And we said,
Yeah.
well, let's take a
see.
look. And next,
See if
we started
and so you're
June,
knocking on the door.
right?
There you go.
But it's sort of fun because you go into these houses and it's like, oh my goodness, I love that color paint they've got.
Yeah.
Or I love how they hung their photos.
Yeah.
And so you go home and get some ideas, and or some houses are decorated to the hilt
Oh, yeah.
for the holidays.
Yep.
Some have a lovely Christmas tree, and that's fine with
Yep,
us.
Exactly. So that is important to know, that it's really just an opportunity to kind of tour the houses of Westborough, and folks that are interested in potentially being participants in this and opening their home. They don't necessarily have to be full on decorated.
No,
Okay.
you know, more of our questions are going to be not how you made that arrangement or wow, that's an amazing tree,
Yeah.
but more about, I love your I love your paint. Can
Yeah.
you tell me what color paint
Yeah.
that is? I love your floors. Who
Yeah.
finished them?
Yeah.
And are the
So-
homeowners present for this?
Their choice.
Sometime.
Okay.
Their
Yeah.
choice. And so some are, some aren't. We provide hostesses for each home. Depending on what part of your home you're going to open up, some open up the whole house.
Yep.
Some open up just the downstairs.
Okay.
Some have pretty ribbon across the doorway that you can peek in but not go in.
Got it.
And so we will provide hostesses,
Yeah.
as many as we think,
Sure.
so that at the end of the day, you will be amazed at the owners will walk in and it's like, has anybody been here?
Yeah.
You know, they really are very respectful. Things are left as they are. No photography allowed,
Yeah.
so you can't go in and
Right.
take any photography.
Right.
Um,
But you could bring a notepad and ask what color the paint is, and jot that down, right? Or write it on your
Yeah.
ticket, right?
Or
Right.
sometimes a homeowner will put out like a couple of business cards promoting who their
Oh, great.
Who they are.
craftspeople were.
They just had their kitchen redone. This is
Sure.
who did
Oh,
it.
that's
or
great. Yep.
Whatever, which is wonderful.
I remember going into one. It was part of the Orchard Grove,
Orchard Hill up
Orchard
there.
Hill. Excuse me. Thank you. Complex. And first of all, I was like amazed because I had never been in one, like just to see what it was like. And this particular homeowner had, it was just impeccably decorated.
Yes,
and
I
there was
remember
a
that
craft
one.
room, and it was just like wow. And I absolutely walked away with like, wow, if I ever had like the opportunity to kind of reconfigure some space,
Or even like how, wow, you know, in this little space, she had a whole craft room, and it's
Yeah.
like, I could do that.
Yeah,
kind
exactly,
of thing. So
exactly.
that gives you some inspiration. But
And it's great. There's a real festive feel. Some folks come, you know, kind of like with a little bit of their own holiday garb on and dress. And
it's a
people
great
have
way
a
to
great-
start the holiday
It
season.
really is, and it's supporting a great organization. And tickets, I don't know if you mentioned how much are tickets.
Tickets are $30 this
Okay.
year. We did raise them last year.
Yep.
$30 for all 5.
Yep.
And again, it's just about 100% profit.
Yeah,
There's
right, because people are just, it's volunteer time.
It's volunteer time.
And there are usually some snacks at some of these houses, sometimes. you know,
Sometimes,
you know,
but
Yeah.
not
Sometimes.
necessary.
Not
But lots of
required.
snacks at the Congregational Church.
Okay,
Yeah.
great, excellent. And is the Congregational Church open just before the event, or is it open after?
12:30
as
they
well?
will
Oh,
open up,
12:30, okay.
and they'll be down there organizing, selling tickets,
Okay.
and setting up tables, festive.
Wonderful.
And folks plan out their map. We hope they spread in all different directions
Yeah.
from there.
Yeah.
But that's
You don't
their
have to
choice.
go in order of listed.
No, no,
yeah,
go
yeah.
as you would.
Excellent.
And it's interesting to see where they're going to go and their highlights.
Sure.
And it's almost like a little reunion. And people come back and they've seen people they saw the previous
Yeah.
year. So it's definitely a fun way to
Excellent.
spend a Saturday afternoon. And this is not limited to women.
Right.
We
Right.
have-
Great point.
We have a fair number of guys.
Yeah.
We don't know how willing they were to participate in it, but we're fairly certain that they wanted to be there. So welcome all people, not so much small
Well,
children.
right. It
and
really
so-
is kind of an adult
definitely.
or event.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right. And so we hope to see you there.
Yes, absolutely. I may be looking at the calendar. I may be a hostess. We'll see. We'll see if that works out.
We
Yeah,
are welcoming all.
Yep.
Many hands. It is a big undertaking.
It is.
Focused on, one day of the year with, Polly and I start, probably the day after saying
Yeah.
what went well, what,
Yeah,
debrief.
sure.
And then we have our eyes on the houses for the following
Absolutely.
year,
Yeah,
saying, okay, who's our historic house going to be, our new house, our downtown house?
Well, there's something in Westborough that's always changing, so I'm sure it's catching
Yes.
your eye
Yeah.
to say like, what about
Exactly.
that one?
We have our eyes open.
I'm sure.
We've got a couple of houses we've been back to, but pretty much
Yeah.
it's a new slate
Yep. Yeah.
Every
each year.
Sure.
So
Well, and it's always interesting to hear the comments even after like I didn't know what that home looked like from the outside.
Right.
I'm the outside, but once I got in there, it was totally different or what have you.
Much
So,
bigger
yeah,
or
exactly. Right.
sunnier or-
yeah,
or whatever.
Yeah.
Good. You'll
Yeah.
find out on November 14th.
All right. All right.
Which houses are on.
Okay. All right. So you get to know then. So excellent. Thank you, ladies. Anything else we need to cover? Yes.
I just wanted to, to close with one thing that people ask, why should they join? And I think you probably get a little bit of a taste of it from everything you've heard today. But people join for many different reasons. There are people who join because they want the social connection. You know, they enjoy the luncheons, they enjoy the speakers.
I should interrupt and say that whether it's lunch or dinner, the food is delicious. So if there's always a choice.
Yeah.
It is one of the most organized organizations I've been a part of. Truly.
Yes.
I mean, it runs efficiently, meetings run on time, you know what you're getting, you know what to expect, and again, the food's delicious. So, and we have some amazing bakers and chefs in the group. So, but if you join, you don't necessarily have to bake. I don't know. Some folks can be like intimidated. But you can participate in setting up, you know, for the meeting, and there are, you guys do a great job of sort of team arrangements by month, and so it really, many hands make light work.
And that's what we want people to know, is that there are many opportunities for service, socialization, learning, and so you don't have to do all of it. You know, there's a piece there for every woman.
Sure.
So
And I can attest to that, because usually the meetings fall on, particularly evening meetings, they fall on select board nights, and so I can't attend, but I haven't been shunned by the group yet. I'm still welcome.
You're still welcome.
we're very nice.
You are. You're all very nice. And yes, so 100 plus members strong, going for now. When, remind us again, 1916
Was when the club was
1916.
first formed.
Fantastic.
Yep.
Wow.
And it's the largest civic group in town also.
Yeah.
It is.
Longest running and largest.
And well run. So,
So come join us.
Come join the Westborough Women's Club. We have information, as you've seen during the presentation, on their areas of focus. The holiday house tour is coming up. You know where to get your tickets. You've heard about that. And if you have any questions, please reach out to any one of these ladies. They'd be happy to talk to you. And come and sample a meeting. I think that's the best way to experience
We
it.
welcome guests.
Excellent.
And if you're new to town, it's a great way to reach out, get connected, and there's such a variety of programs. If you're interested in joining and you are new to town, go on our website, check it out, and just come on down.
Yeah, absolutely.
Come on down. And if we get that, maybe somebody will pick you up
Excellent.
and be your host for the evening.
Excellent. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. And thanks for watching this episode of the 01581 Let's Talk. Be well, take care of each other, and happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.